I'm Randall Barney. We're here at the 2014 NAB show talking to thought leaders in media contribution and distribution about some of the key trends shaping the industry today. Here's what they had to say.
Well, I think one of the obvious answers to that is to be able to embrace and utilize all of those various types of technologies. We're very fortunate in that we have a number of clients that are in all of those areas. That ScheduAll allows you to do scheduling solutions, ad hoc transmissions using satellite, using fiber, using conventional terrestrial, and as well, just recently, we have started to offer as well IP transmission over transparent layer 2 Ethernet, which of course is now also an increasing trend. So clearly, you need to be able to find the types of technologies that will be able to allow you to embrace all of those areas, because you're going to need to find as many sources of revenue and as many ways to be able to offer these to your customers as possible. And as I said, fortunately, we're in the position to be able to offer all of those. Well, I think they're the traditional types of challenges that we always find, and it's becoming increasingly so as we continue into the 2010s, shall we say, and that is constrained revenue, very thin profit margins, the ability to try to squeeze every ounce of money that you can out of your market while still trying to be competitive. So the end result of that, of course, is that people are looking for new sources of revenue. We're certainly finding in our space that a number of, shall we say, conventional transmission providers are also trying to get additional revenue by actually making changes to the content before sending it out. So it's almost as if they're becoming playout centers and not just transmitters, not just delivery mechanisms. That's obviously something that we're seeing very clearly, because obviously from our perspective, manipulation of content, creation, manipulation, and delivery of content is something that's a core feature of our product line. So what we're finding with our clients is that if they are moving into those areas, that's the sort of thing that they're going to be able to use ScheduAll for. You also have other organizations that may have long-term bandwidth that they have available to them that's excess. They're trying to find ways to try to exploit that as much as possible. And we find that there's a number of organizations that are actually trying to move into ad hoc transmissions, that are trying to embrace the OU world and not really sure how to do it, thinking there's all these different types of headaches. You have to worry about administration. How are we going to take orders? I mean, how do we actually carve all of this out? And we have a number of organizations that have come to us over the past few years, finding that essentially that our OU solution is an effective starter kit for them to be able to get into that transmission business and to be able to enhance revenue. That's all of the revenue enhancement side. And of course, in terms of cutting back on expenses, an awful lot of organizations we're seeing are starting to move into this whole idea of self-booking or self-provisioning, where instead of having to deal with the administration of trying to take all these orders and try to administrate them, to let the clients do it themselves. They're there now. We're certainly providing that. I mean, we've discussed before about our connector technology, which allows ScheduAll systems to see each other. And because of the footprint that we have in the broadcast and transmission industry, we have a number of clients that are utilizing it so that they can essentially be inside their own booking system and book external bandwidth or external transmission inventory. But we also have clients that are very much looking at, even if you're not using a ScheduAll system, being out in the field, non-ScheduAll customer, being able to have some sort of web portal, sort of like Expedia, to be able to let people go in and book their bandwidth. We have even a client here at this show, On Call Communications, who's actually demonstrating this. They have trucks out that they lease in the field, and they need to be able to have them very quickly in an easy web interface form, be able to just ask a series of questions: source, destination, type of quality of service, and time and date. Here's my booking. And for them to be able to see their availability in real time, to be able to just go ahead and see what the costs are going to be, and be able to go ahead and book it, and have that booking appear right in that system. So it's a done deal. And so, as I said, we're seeing that now, and we're seeing organizations embracing it for exactly the reasons I said before, because of the fact that it reduces duplication of effort. You don't have to worry about phone calls. Did they take my booking right? Did they scribble down the information correctly? Did my email go through? Did it go into their spam bucket? You don't have to worry about all of those. You don't enter this into two different systems. You only enter it into one. I think that they will embrace it, and we're certainly seeing that they're embracing it very quickly. The benefits are not just for the provider to be able to not have to worry about order administration and making sure that you've got the right bookings. It's also from the perspective of the customers to be able to know what they're seeing. Again, it's the Expedia model, to be able to see exactly what's available and to be able to book it, to see your costs at hand, to have confirmation right then and there. Over the course of the past year, I'd say, we've seen at least two of our broadcast clients put out bids for tender for new contracts for transmission providers, where they've made this self-provisioning a condition of one of the requirements for getting the bid, for getting the tender. And so as a result of that, they're saying that if we want to be able to be inside our own systems and be able to book in our own scheduling systems, we want to be able to see your inventory and to be able to book capacity and be able to book our bandwidth. And otherwise, you're not getting the business. The benefits are on both sides. At the end of the day, we're now halfway through the second decade of the 21st century. And if there's any clients that are still left that still are embracing the nostalgia behind a fax machine, then they may not survive through the end of it. And so, again, everybody poo-pooed Expedia when that first came out. They said, who's going to want to do our own bookings? I'm going to speak to my travel agent. You don't see a lot of travel agents anymore.